eclectic. I think your lineup of workshops was appropriately eclectic.
Wonderful.
It was
Different from the different angles,
styles, different
yes,
different ideas of body and intention and hara and not hara. You know, it got all together. It's very multivariate. Various. Like
great. Yes, I learned shiatsu after. Yeah, I learned a little bit in Japan, but I learned so much after I came to United States in New York. And in New York, there's so many, I learned from so many teachers. And then they offer me so many different styles. It was shiatsu, the core was there, but I learned from each of them. And I repeat so many classes because it was same curriculum, but different teacher put their essence in their life, and they gave me so much ideas and creativities. And then I was like, our bodies, our legs are short, but some teachers' legs are long, and then arms are long, and it was so beautiful to see how you can extend yourself and so on and so on. But that was that's how I grew up with the shiatsu practice, and it's good to see that so many different options available. Yeah.
Yes, it's a great global ecosystem.
Yeah, it's like a bag of candies, so you can eat this, you can eat that. Depends on, because of you see the clients, they are in so many different type of people comes. It's not one person. That's how I develop. I meet so many different type of people. I meet so many different type of the shape of the body, its mind, the background, education, and financial difference, and so on and so on. So it's good to have so many different things in your pockets, so you can offer something so they can resonate, so they can heal their bodies and mind and spirit and keep going. So that's my love. And then I was so happy so many instructors brought so many different aspects of shiatsu. Yes. Thank you for feedback. Anyway, yes.
I appreciate that there was a bit more gaps in schedule.
Yes, it was very intense last year because so many instructors wanted to share, and time was very, very intense. Yes.
It was very rich last year, but it was also rich this year. What's nice about the gaps is
Yes, so good.
discuss what we learned, but also sometimes we only get to see some people like once a year. Special opportunity.
Yes. I hear so many people say each of you have so rich life experience and shiatsu, and then everybody wants to hear, everybody wants to talk to each other. It was so nice. It was so nice to see all the interactions in the between. Yeah. Thank you. Any other feedbacks? Yes.
I have a feedback for Serena.
Great. Yes. Okay.
I said that your presentation was wonderful.
Wonderful. Yeah, bravo, kids, bravo. Thank you.
Everybody was there.
Oh, yeah. My uncle always said, "There's no student, you are not going to be a teacher." So, thank you to everybody being here. Yeah. Yes.
Any of this is going to be available on your website?
That's text to you.
After this is all over, I should have all of the recordings, and they should be either on the YouTube site or we can get it onto the Cloud Lights site. It'll be on the YouTube channel. Yeah, because all this is being recorded on Zoom, and it'll just be on the cloud, and should be able to just transfer it over. Just need maybe a day or two to deal with all of that, but other than that, I think
it would be nice to incorporate some of what we learned here into our work when we go back.
Good.
1 or 2 days, and
that's it. And then that's the guillotine.
Sorry, last year's video is still organizing, but we are improving a little bit every year. Any other feedbacks? We like to hear the feedbacks until everybody get together. Yes.
Just as I suggested to you, maybe there's a way to share everybody's contacts or some platform, like, because a lot of people are.
Yeah, we just Claire just offered her,
Okay,
her
so
service.
people can like announce maybe some teaching or see where we are, or it's like, oh, I'll be in Italy teaching. Like, oh, we're in Italy, so we can meet, because it's such a beautiful way to meet everybody and feel. Yeah.
Yeah, so she's gonna create some drive, right?
Drive the pictures and the spreadsheet.
Yeah. Upload your beautiful pictures, please, to share.
It's just got some messages from Europe that people are watching.
Oh, that's so nice, so nice. Some of your students text me, email me every day. It's happening. Why did this not working? Oh, I'm so glad they are enjoying. That's great. That's
No,
great.
and they were also they wanted to know if it was recorded so it can be watched.
Yes, just the Paul answered. Yes, he's gonna work on it.
Yesterday, so, yeah,
Yes.
hopefully I should have that up no later this year.
Okay. Great. Any other feedbacks? Any other comments? Yes, please.
It's not so much of feedback, but I'd say that maybe I speak for the four of us.
Thank you. Thank you.
If I'm
Am I gonna cry?
Oh,
our situation in Canadian Shiatsu is not it's not a robust, joyful ecosystem. And you know, I've been in the Shiatsu game a little while, not as long as some of you, but long enough to know some stuff. And it's been like coming out of a long, cold winter, coming to this conference, to be in a space with everybody here, where it's, I mean, we all have different experiences and skills, whatever, but this kind of horizontal, collective, supportive environment has been very, very precious. Like, we are stronger together.
yes, definitely. Thank you.
And that's been, as I said, feel like coming out of a very long, cold winter to be with all of you. I mean, some of us haven't even spoken, but that's fine. It's just all of us together. It's been very precious. So thank you, coming.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I know how you feel. I experienced in New York. I know. So I wanted everybody to be together. That's so nice. So nice. That's the first essence of just to be together, be human being. We are being this, and it creates the energy. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate everybody. Everybody got the first principle of Shiatsu. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Any other feedback? So, any other sharings you'd like to make? And good. Yes. Oh, Stacy. Oh. Oh.
Why that feels like it's I just want to thank you for
Thank
putting
you,
this
thank
together,
you.
but also, well, in addition, like the assortment of the offerings and how, like expansive they were, because some of you have been doing this for, I think I heard like 40-ish years. I don't know if any of you have been doing it longer. I'm not sure. I've been doing it like 1 month. And only 2 or 3 days out of the month, so really 3 days. And it reached me very, very fully, and I learned so much, and not just through the practice and the like information sessions, but also just having exposure to the culture and getting to see the teachers come like vulnerably and transparently and like generously. It was just such a like rich experience, and it's so so cool that we could come together and like have like the newest to the most experienced, and like everybody's getting so much, and it was just beautiful and impactful, and I loved it. Thank you.
Oh, great. That's also essence of Shiatsu. So we are the beginner's mind is the most important thing. So we always learn from each other. That's great. also shiatsu is not that technique. It comes from the heart and the spirit. So I know your grandmother. Oh, ah, thank you for being here. Yeah. Any other? Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
You
go.
know, 40 years ago, whenever I first started, so many international students, and kind of brings the world together. From my class. It's so wonderful. I love to congratulate all of you non-native or English as your second language speakers. I'm so impressed. I mean, from Kumiko to so many.
Yeah, it's so nice.
That's so nice. World.
And we see there's so much possibility out there. So
Keep going, Kumiko.
yes, let's keep going. Please help us.
Kumiko, you, Jen. Shiatsu is a very solitary practice. We're social with our clients, but not so much colleagues. And I love that you started. I remember you and I started with the Italians during the beginning of COVID.
Yeah.
Join your Zoom. I would practice my Italian and someone would translate. And then Kumiko brought that to here. And then we went around the world. I remember I taught on one of the early sessions. And we had people from, what was it, like 5 different continents.
Yeah.
It was insane. And it's you brought us all.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know.
So,
My fear of losing the shiatsu is not acceptable. So please, everybody help me. Yes, please. Shiatsu is so special. It's such a gift. We have to, yeah, continue.
and I'm here with friends who I met in the Ohashi Institute. We studied together. And then I have new friends I met this weekend.
Yeah, thank
you.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome.
For years.
You're welcome.
Thank you. My heart is so full.
Oh, thank you to everybody. Thank you. Yeah. Wonderful. Let's hold the hands before we start with Katherine. Yes. Yeah.
20 years or so, I was afraid that shiatsu was dying in this country. And I was just so vision and persistence and just created this awesome
Definitely, we have to bring it back. We have to bring it back to Canada. We have to bring it back to other places. Yeah, let's hold the hands and let's meditate before we start. And thank you to my team and thank you to everybody. And thank you to Emma. She kept sending an email, don't give up. We have to stay focused. And we are able to have so many of you here and so many of you in the Zoom and so many of you behind us. And let's keep going. Thank you. And thank you to all the teachers before us. And thank you, Katherine. Hand it to you. Thank you. All right. Thank you to Pauline. Thank you to Ohashi. Okay.
Hey.
All right. Hand it to Katherine.
You ready?
Good morning. This is our last class, right? For now. Yeah, yeah. It's been such an amazing weekend. It's been so great. Who said it? Joan said it. And she moved. There you are. Yeah, that we get together like this and hang out together, all these Shiatsu practitioners. It doesn't happen a lot. Chicago Symposium did it to start with, which was really, really wonderful to finally, it was the first time I had been in a group that large of Shiatsu practitioners. And it's just amazing. And of course, everybody has this little different flavor to what they do, which is also great, which is another reason I think for us to get together, because we come with these different stylistic approaches, and we don't necessarily have to become an even vanilla, but we get a lot of texture and richness through that, which is wonderful, which is really wonderful. So let's stand up. Find yourself a spot. Let's say good morning and just shake. Nice bounce down into the bones. Tell me if you can't hear me. Let your arms go. So you're like a kid, right? You know how kids do this when they dance. So we'll do this for a little while. Let your heels come off and let them bang down onto the nice hard concrete. Then jump. And go back. How's breakfast feel? Sorry. Bring your heels together and drum them on the floor. So you relax everything, so you shake around. And go back to bouncing. And let's do, I don't know what this is called, but you're going to do a scoop of energy. And you're going to throw it over yourself. And then you're going to dive into that water and do another scoop. So it's going to be fast. It's going to be like this. And then a little rising up onto your feet. Look up at the ceiling. And then swing. Get that torso twisting. Give yourself a nice clap. It could be on kidneys on either side. You could do your shoulder. You could do soft fist. Well, let's shift to this one. Soft fist under the arm. Give yourself a thump. Let's go back to this twist. And come up on the sides. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. And a little bounce. We could go on for an hour with this stuff, right? There's so many of them. There's this one. And there's this one. So let's come back to a little bounce. And we'll go into standing posture. So feet about a foot distance apart, parallel, but comfortable. So if it's not completely parallel, that's okay. And have your knees straight and feel what your back feels like, your lower back. So focus in on the lower back, then micro bend your knees until you find that spot where your lower back and sacrum opens up. There'll be a point where the tailbone kind of drops. So go back and forth a little bit just so you can taste that. And find that spot where your lower back feels, nice. And then go up your spine, let your spine open up. Open up your rib cage in the back. Open up your upper back. Let your shoulders drop off to the side. Let your neck lengthen. And let's stand here for a minute. And if your body shifts around, it might be finding where it's more comfortable, which might also be what is in better alignment. Better being where the bones are stacked up on top of each other and help support. So more and more of you can relax. So you can let go of everything that you don't need to be standing here at this moment. If you want to move your knees a little bit again, I always find that I shift back towards my heels a little bit. So whatever your body thinks it would like to do to be more comfortable, that might be more aligned. So this I'm going to call standing posture. And it is something that Robert Peng talks about. You can find him online. He's a wonderful teacher. He's a really great teacher. So he talks about standing posture a lot. So here we are, standing posture. So as we breathe in the next inhale, your hands are going to float up from the ground. They're going to pull earth energy along with them. So you're going to feel that earth energy come up with your hands. Your hands are going to turn over. They're going to mix earth energy with heaven energy as they continue up. You're going to take a big handful of this combination of energy and pull it down over you. So it's going to be this shower that washes over your whole being. It's going to brush down your legs, through your feet, into the earth. On your next inhale, let's do that again. A great big handful of earth. Turn the hands over. Bring up, mix with heaven. Wash down. So good morning. Down into the ground again. Let's do it again. Turn your hands over. This time, you're going to aim it at the top of your head. Bahui is its name. You're going to send that energy down the pranic tube, which is the center of your being, the center of your torus. So it's going to wash down this space that contains your spine, that looks like a string of pearls. Let's do it again. This string of pearls that is lustrous, that is flexible, that is responsive to gravity, that is just so beautiful. And once more. And this time, bring your hands into Gasho. Down in front of your heart. Brush your sternum. And let's pause here. And think of how you are blessed. And let your hands float down onto your dantian, the sea of qi. I got my lung energy activated. And feel this vitality. So this is the center of your vitality, the sea of qi. So let's sit here for a minute or a moment and taste this feeling of vitality. Let's move our hands up to our chest and feel this center of compassion. This is your center of compassion. Our arms come off of this center, and these are the hands that we put on people. So the anatomy that we work with so much comes out of our center of compassion. And then move your hands up onto your forehead. So this is your third eye, chakra number 6. This is your center of wisdom. This is wisdom. So let your hands float down. And focus in on how you feel right now. Maybe compared to how you felt this when you got up this morning, if you have that in your mind. But just kind of focus in where we are right now, where your attention goes. So your whole energetic being includes your torus, which generally, most of you know this, I think, but your finger length, your arm's length is kind of where your torus ends. It goes under your feet as well. And it's a big donut. So it's a big chakra. You're a big chakra. And down the middle in the image is that it's hollow. And it's an electromagnetic structure as well. And I've read somewhere that the electricity is, and I get this mixed up all the time, the electricity is the mental life and the magnetic is the emotional life. So these two things are working together in oscillation all the time. And Diego was talking about the vibrational scale. So it's a vibrational structure. From a very, very high, fast vibration, which is your more spiritual, down to a slower and slower and slower and more dense vibration, which for us would be our bones, or for the earth, rock. It's all moving. So I just want to make a note that we're not things in space. We don't have things, our organs are not things in our abdomen. They're actions. So this is an action. This isn't a body, a thing. So it's all action. So everything's moving all the time. Even what looks to us as being really inert. And that's because we move faster than it. So we say, that's inert. But it's not. And we know this intellectually, but I just wanted to say that this is all an action, not a thing. So the bones are an action, something happening, something transforming. So we're always in this state of transforming and becoming wherever we're going. So what shall we do next? Just for the fun of it, let's line up according to according to our age, which is how many years we've been practicing. Because we hadn't done this, then I thought maybe it would be interesting. Yeah, make a line. So how about oldest, youngest? Is that good? Oldest. Oldest, youngest. Age has its advantages. It's not age, it's how many years of practice. Wisdom.
Welcome to the special of age.
So how many years are you?
40 years at least, yeah.
I think I'm
So make it a line.
Yeah, a line. So make it, so everybody, make it a single. That's okay. Yeah, make it a single line.
Want me to ring the bell?
Maybe we should start.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So make it a single line. Make it a single. So shift down a little bit.
69.
Shift down a little bit. Shift down a little bit.
9. Are we going by the age?
Not age. Years of practice.
Oh.
Years of practice.
Oh.
Get back where you were. So everybody face this way. Everybody face this way. This way. Face this way. Face this way. Do you want a picture? So everybody look at the camera and smile. Years of practice. Years of practice. I'm somewhere in here with you. I don't know which side.
You be here. Okay. 1, 2, 3. My eyes are closed. Natural.
There you go.
So stay in the line. Stay in the line. So you follow me. I am Katherine. 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 Hi. I am Katherine. Keep coming, keep coming.
It's so good.
I am Katherine.
Kyle.
I didn't get to meet you before.
Yes. Well,
Yeah.
you with me now?
Yeah, exactly. I am Katherine.
I'm Dan.
So now we have this opportunity to do this, right?
That's really wonderful.
Katherine.
Thank you, Ken.
I am Katherine. I am Katherine. I'm Katherine. Good to meet you. We met before, yes. Katherine.
You're on, it's over. You're camera.
My belly feels great. I am Katherine.
Hi, Manuela.
I am Katherine.
Oh,
I am Katherine. Sorry. I'm Katherine. Nice to meet you. I met you before. Yes. I'm Katherine. I am Katherine. I'm Kath.
Amanda.
Kath. Hi. So we're going to stand here. You and I.
I think they're gonna do a video.
What's that?
They're gonna do a video.
Of this?
They wanna get like a.
Well,
Because we've already. Yeah. Never mind.
no, of this, you want a video?
Yeah, someone's like, they want
Well,
to
do-
do
do-
an action together
Oh,
and it'll be like a fun little thing. So
oh,
when you're
okay.
done with-
Yeah, maybe after.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're all going to-
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
So everybody gets to shake everybody's hand
Are we gonna meet everybody twice?
once. It should be once. You'll see.
Oh, because I'm gonna end up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, no, I have to let you go. No, wait, it'll be okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Because I'll be meeting him.
You need that right hand.
Amanda.
So stay here.
Okay. Hi, I'm Maureen.
Yeah.
Great.
It's funny. Yeah. I do this with my class too. Yeah.
My glasses.
Yeah.
In many ways,
Well, there's that point where you can't help it.
can't help it.
And that's why they need it.
Yes, they do. I'm Karen.
So stand there. So, so follow where'd she go? Where did Joan? So we will need everybody twice. Hi. So keep going, keep lining up.
Stacy, nice to meet you. I'm Amanda. Hi, I'm too. Nice to meet you.
Hi. So keep staying line. Yeah, keep making the line. Takes a while. Because it's a big group.
All gonna be the handshakers. We're like.
You
we
will
are?
be.
Okay.
Well, you would have met everybody already.
Exactly.
Yeah. So you follow me. So the line will follow. So follow the line.
Hi, everybody out there. Yeah. Friends.
New York.
Yeah, yeah. Good, good, good. Good.
Oh, no, no.
I'll be back. I'll be back. Yeah. Don't talk too long. I know it's great, but I'm trying to smash a lot of things in.
I've been waiting for a long time. I just.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Keep going. Keep going. It's shorter with a smaller class. That's funny. Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
It gets. I'm gonna.
We should say, hey, everybody, this is Tiffany. She wants to be underground, but yeah, I'm trying to get her to come and do it.
Yeah, she does want to be in the back.
Yeah,
but
she does.
you know, she's more involved now than she was before.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry. Try to move people along. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I get past it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm sorry to. Little faster, little faster.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Have you done it?
No.
No, you've got to come around. No, no, no. And say hello. Yeah, 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 yeah. Are we almost there? It turned into a wild group hug.
I said we're gonna be crying by the end.
I know, I know. Did you go through the line?
We have to go all the way through. No,
To the last, who was the youngest? So you have to turn. Did you turn and shake hands with everybody? Yeah, you shake hands.
go all the way down the entire.
No, 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 down to our youngest person here. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Really.
Uh,
I can make up.
Chaos. Yeah. So we had a speed assessment. This was a speed assessment, a group speed assessment. And you had a little bit of an assessment as somebody shaking hands and somebody who was shaking hands with you, right? Yeah. So we make all these impressions with this first contact, right? It's like you have this snapshot of somebody. We do it every day with new people, but we don't think about it. And as Shiatsu practitioners, we focus on it a little more intensely and with a little more depth, right? A little more depth. So, oh my gosh, it's so quiet now, right? It was a little bit of chaos, right? But chaos has order to it. Yeah. So let's have a seat. Find your spot.
Oh, I see it.
Thank you for doing that. It's usually, you know, I do it with a smaller class, so it's a little bit faster, but also it gives students an opportunity to think about how different people are. You know, when you do an exercise where you go from person to person to person, you really start getting the feel for what you're trying to look for in different people. So I recommend this as an exercise if you teach. It's really great. And students love it. I mean, it's fun, right? It's fun. Yeah, it gets goofy. Goofy is good, right? Yeah, goofy is good. So I put some words up here on the board. The universe, the creator, the all. So different names for what's this big thing we're part of? You know, different religions will call this God. So there's this organism that we're parts of, that we're different expressions of. So I'm also going to put up here the word is, because what is this thing? And what it is. Does this make sense? Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it is. So we're part of this is. So initially, the story is about is that it doesn't know itself. So this is, in a way, a story of our own, that when we're first born, we really don't know ourselves. We just are. We're an is. So we don't know ourselves. So when we become aware of ourselves, we become a one. And in English, that's interesting because it's an I, which is like our spine, and it's a one. So there's this kind of a symbolic play too. So this universe, this creator, this all, this void, which really isn't a void because it's everything, and it's also referred to as nothing. So what is that? It's potential. So this thing is all potential. Can you read my writing? All potential. How do you conceptualize that, right? It's a kind of a mind-boggling thought. So get comfortable and go back into yourself and expand your awareness to include that, what we call for our five senses, the invisible part, that energetic egg around us, that electromagnetic field. And imagine that here is this space that as a being, you occupy in this room right now. Now think about this space through all time. So you're sitting in this space that has always been here, that will always be here. You're occupying it right now as a changing form. So you have that in your mind a little bit. Now think about all the things that have ever occupied that space. All forms, all activities, all emotions, everything you can imagine. All through time, through what was, what's here right now, and everything that will be in this space that you occupy right now. It's mind-boggling, right? What does the brain do? The brain kind of shuts down a little bit, maybe. It says, what's that? So this is that potential. It's everything that's possible. It's everything that was possible, that's possible now. And Pauline would talk about when you're working, you go into the field, which is getting more in touch with this universal space where there is no time and space. So you are starting to touch in on everything that's happening in that space, except you're with a client, so you're focusing it to that client. And we're only this big because we're an expression of this larger thing. And we're working with somebody who's only so big because they are an expression of that thing. Good so far? So I'm kind of dialing you out to an infinite and kind of bringing you back in again. So we have this connection to this infinite. So I said field, so let's talk about field for a second. Divergent vision, does everybody know what divergent vision is? No, I see a couple of heads. So you're sitting, I'll say sitting on the subway, but you're sitting in a place where, that's the hot dog. You're sitting in a space where you've kind of gone into dreamland a little bit, right? You're kind of thinking about what you have to do tomorrow, and maybe that reminds you of grandma and that great dress that grandma used to wear, and she used to say, you know, whatever, and you're staring off into space. And you can see that I'm looking at that window, but you can see also that I'm not focusing on that window, that I'm someplace else, right? You can see that in my gaze. So that's basically what you're doing. And a way to exercise that is to put your fingers together in front of you and look at your fingers. Look at those fingertips. Now keep looking in that spot where your fingertips touched, but watch your fingers. Your attention is on your fingers. So you're paying attention to your fingers. Now you see your eyes are no longer focused, but your mind and your attention is on these fingers. And of course, you're going to be testing what your peripheral vision is in a way. But this is divergent vision. This is how you open up your perception to energy. And Diego was talking about this yesterday. Perception for everybody is so different. It's going to be all different things. Trust that you feel way more than you understand. And that your brain is going through this information coming in, and sometimes it's going to say, oh, I have no idea what that is. Let's pretend that doesn't exist. Or maybe it just pushes it aside. So there's that part of your brain that's filtering everything. Is this okay? Yeah, is that okay? I don't know about this. Oh, that smells bad. That's dangerous. You know, this kind of a thing. So, well, and on that note, if anything I say is like, what the hell is she talking about? Set up a little box for yourself over on the side. And here's this concept that I said that you think, I don't know about that. Put it in the box and let it sit there. Maybe you'll never look at it again. Maybe in a week you'll think, oh, I get it. And you'll pull it out again. So don't worry about it. If something is like, oh my God, this is just too crazy, put it in the box. So divergent vision. It opens up your perception to the field. And the field is the space around somebody. And when you're in that multi-dimensional space, which is what Pauline called it, you have access to that through time and space. So you can have your client lying down in front of you who says, oh my God, my knee hurts. I fell on it. It feels terrible. And you look at it and you think, yeah, it is. This is a new injury, but there's old injury here too. So you can feel the vibrational quality of it. And we have an experience of this because we walk down the street and I sprained my ankle. Pop. It's big, red. You know, you're like, oh, how am I going to do anything? It's so painful. This is an acute situation, and it is fresh. It's right now. In a year, it's better. You don't think about it anymore, but it's really stiff. Now it no longer has the same flexibility it did. So here's an older injury. And if you press it and it hurts, you're not going to say, ah, the way you would if somebody shoved their thumb in that fresh sprained ankle. It's going to be more like, oh. Those are the vibrational qualities of something older or younger. You've had this experience, right? Yeah. So this is the beginning of how you work up your sense of a vibrational library, what something feels like. So you can look at somebody now and say, oh God, this person's being, their character is affected by something that happened to them when they were 5. You can feel that, as opposed to something that happened yesterday. And yes, if it happened yesterday, you might say, ooh, what happened yesterday? Because you can see this person is just like, you know, something different is going on and they are just, they're swollen, they're angry, you know, that's kind of a thing, you know. So here's a vibrational library starting to open up. Good? Yeah. So you start to have a feel like you can see this with people, right? So you're going to realize your friends who you meet, you've been doing this already. Yeah. You meet this new person and you think to yourself, wow, what's going on in their life? I'm going to keep a little distance from this person, right? You have this like chemical reaction, this gut. Our first brain says, careful for that one. Yeah? Yeah. So here you've got this vibrational library that's already installed that you didn't know about, that you didn't think about. Good? So you can go into the field when someone's there, which is like this daydream state where you look at them, but you're not really looking at them. And of course, sometimes people will feel it and they'll be looking at you like, what are you doing? Why are you doing that? What's going on? So this is information. You know, you're making them nervous. They feel a little vulnerable. So you've got a response that maybe you didn't expect. So this is information for the session. Everything that happens is information for the session, even if you burp. Yeah. So there's a little something on the field when you're working with somebody. So we're sitting in a group field too, because we're an organism in this room. And we became more aware of it a little bit. We have been during meal times, but then also with the handshake thing, it kind of solidifies, the circle solidifies this feeling of a group organism. Yeah. Good. So back to the universe. So back to number 1. Number 1 wants to understand is self. So I'm going to leave out gender because this has no gender. It's all gender. It's before gender. It's after gender. And we all have this genders in us anyway. So whatever. So number 1 wants to see itself. So what it starts to do is to separate out. And here's one expression of that. And here we have number 2. That's one expression of that. So here we have the yin yang, which is complementary opposites. And we study about how this creates the world. It's the first step to create the 10,000 things. Here's another way to express that too. The vesica piscis. So this one circle has pulled apart into 2 and has left this opening, this cosmic vulva that the world is birthed through. So this is what's happening. The world is getting birthed. And we all birth ourselves. So we have this right here, the sea of chi. In this spot is where 3 of the 8 extraordinary vessels start. So the Chong, the Ren, and the Du start here. They go down to the first chakra, then they come up in the body. You have conception up the front, which is Ren, and I think you all know this. Du up the back, which is governing, and then Chong up the middle. I think of Chong as being the ancestral connection. I often read it simplistically as being the ancestral connection. So through DNA and through the ancestors, we're eternal. This is this information that's getting passed down and passed down and passed down and passed down. And maybe this is the intelligence that wants to live. Well, it is. This is the DNA wants to live, wants to survive, wants to go on to the next generation and pass this information along, which is what we do as Shiatsu practitioners too. So my DNA, my intellectual DNA is saying, pass this along. So I'm a child of Pauline Sasaki, a granddaughter of Masanaga. Do we all practice Masanaga style? Does everybody? Who doesn't? No? Yeah, yeah. It's beautiful. Masanaga. Masanaga. So at any rate, here's number 2. This starts to spin. And in spinning, it creates a pivot. So here you have the number 3 developing. So you can say mother, father, child. You can say heaven, earth, human being. So here's a communication system between the 2. This happens in a family a lot, right? That the child becomes like a communication system, a different kind of communication between the 2. Eventually, this pivot moves to the outside. And so there's this is numerology, which is also the theoretical base for acupuncture and shiatsu. Can you see? I'm in the way. So the 3 start to pivot and a 4 is developed. And then that eventually moves to the outside. And you've got 4. And this was the original season chart with Earth in the middle. So there was 4. 4 is the directions, north, south, east, and west. Or that's an example for us. It's kind of a stable shape in many ways. Do we know which way is north? Anybody? Which way is north?
670.
Should be this way.
Yeah. Here. So north is kind of this.
That way? Yeah.
Yeah, that's north.
Oh, okay. North. This is like Manhattan. Everybody says that's not, north. And you pull out your compass and it says, no, that's north. Yeah. So on the 4 directions, you have, what's that? North? Okay. North is at my back, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, north is somewhere behind my back. Like that. Yeah. Yeah. So we've got east and west as well, right? The rising sun comes up on the east. So here you have an image, a metaphor for all potential, a new day. Unless the weather is like this, bright light. Illumination, which is this word that goes often with knowledge. So you have this coming up in the east. In the west, at the end of every day, the sun goes down. Death, in a way, we go through many deaths in life before we die. But transformation. This is where the shadow is. West is where the shadow is. So this is your area of transformation. This is going to be that stuff that really, really bothers you, that if you attend to, you were talking about bringing the past forward. If you attend to this stuff from your past, it's going to help you open up and transform and be a different person. The South, depending on what part of the world you're in and what the weather is like north of you, the South, they say different things. But the medicine, so I had some Native American teachers, and the South was the medicine. So I think of that as what you need to balance out that idea of potential and shadow. So this is where our ease and our disease is, between potential and shadow. So sometimes you need some medicine to help with this potential and shadow. We all have our dreams of where we want to go, but how do we deal with that really, really heavy stuff in our life? And maybe we need a Shiatsu practitioner, right? So the medicine is to help. This is actually all of this class is the world according to Katherine. So you should probably put that up at the top. Yeah. So the South is balance. It's the medicine. It's to help. What's that? Well, yeah. But if this is north, no, this is north, south. Yeah. So the medicine to help with those issues between balancing out the east and the west, your potential and your shadow. And the north is the accumulated wisdom. This is the ancestors. There's accumulated wisdom in the elementals too. So those trees out there, they're pretty smart. My friend, the trees, or the plants in general.
What word did you use for the South?
What?
What word did you use for the South?
The medicine?
The medicine.
Yeah, the medicine. Yeah.
What does it mean? What does it mean?
The medicine?
Yeah.
It means so many different things. Maybe you make a great choice for a little while, and the medicine is alcohol. But this isn't going to do well for you in the long term. It might help you through a time period, but then maybe you need an outside eye. And then that depends, that your food is the medicine, exercise is the medicine, that good night's sleep you had last night was the medicine, your best friend who you talk to who says, oh, come on now. Didn't you say that yesterday and the day before? And let me think, wait a minute, last week? Didn't we talk about that? Why do I talk to you? Right? So the medicine can mean all sorts of things. Yeah, so here we are between 4 and 5. But I think our job in life, what's the meaning of life, is to open our heart up and free it of all that shadow, because it's something that's blocking us, right? So how do we deal with all these different things? That some of them very, very heavy. Maybe we're not going to clear it away in one lifetime. This is our job in life. We've got to figure out how to open that heart and free it to be able to go forward, or at least learn how to deal with these things that are in our life and in our way. And our difficulties become our gifts to work with other people. So when we have a struggle in our life, we're going to have an understanding and maybe a little bit of a way of how to deal with that than we had before that we can start to express to somebody else. We can say, oh yeah, I remember that. You're going to be okay, but for the next week, it's going to be nasty. But I'm here. So you can help other people because of that stuff that you carry around. So in a way, it's a gift too. Yeah, this makes sense? Yeah. And that takes some of the pressure off of this thing that's in my way. You know, this thing, my parent did this to me all these years ago, and I can't, in a way, it's like, yeah, you know, we all have this stuff. And I learned something about this, and I realized I ended up with this advantage, and I can talk to all these different people about this thing. So it kind of shakes it up and loosens it a little bit. It loosens what that thing up is a little bit. Good. Great. Okay, so that's my the meaning of life according to Katherine. So here we are with 4, and the new pivot becomes 5. And of course, that opens up into our 5-element chart. I didn't do a very good job here. I'll do this with more clarity. So there's our 5-element chart. And this pattern continues. There's a 6 and a 7. The 7 sometimes people say is the 4 directions, heaven, earth, and us in the middle. There's the 8. And these are different levels of complexity of creation. So slowly this creation is getting more and more complex. Other things are being added. We're looking more deeply into the structure and how it works. And I'm hoping that Susan one day will teach sacred geometry. Yes. So this I think of as being kind of the cosmology, like a little picture of the cosmology of numbers. If you study numerology, that might be another great class one day, if anybody knows numerology. It's fascinating. What else was I going to say? So at any rate, here's the universe, the creator, the all, the void, which is everything and nothing, potential. So in a session, I feel like my job is to use a language that doesn't have negativity to it. So, oh God, what a mess. That's terrible. But this is a bad thing going on here. You know, you have this block, this kind of a thing. I try not to use this language because I want to keep this openness happening and this potential happening and connecting people to potential. So when they're saying, you know, oh, I can't do that because this happened to me. Well, what about, you know, I understand that now, but what about maybe it's this or this, you know, to add something that adds a little mix that makes them or helps them think, oh, yeah, oh, maybe, you know, that something changes a little bit. Just, I often think of it as moving the furniture. That I think, you know what, this is a metaphor. I love metaphors. Metaphors for me are a tool of connection. My standing up here in front of you is a tool of connection, right? I'm looking around at you. Here's a tool of connection. Metaphor is tool of connection. And sometimes it shifts somebody's vision outside of themselves and gives them a way to conceptualize what's going on in their life, but not with an I. I have a hard time with this. I have to. Now it's a picture. So what if we move the sofa over here? Because then when somebody opens the door a little bit, at least you can see who it is. So I gave you a whole metaphor of a psychological structure, right? That here's this person who's got the sofa in front of the door so it can't open up. So I let, they go away for a week, they work with it. And then when they come back, they say, I realized that the sofa should turn like that a little. I think, oh, the door's opening. But I moved a table in here. Oh, okay. All right. At least the sofa moved. Then I think, you know what? Do you need the chair over here? Wouldn't it work a little better if it was, how do you like that? Is that good? And then maybe the table could move over by it and you could put your coffee down. Oh, I like that. When she comes back, the chair is back and the sofa's back, right? Right? This happens all the time. Yeah. Then the next time she comes, you realize she doesn't say anything. There's no more sofa. Then the next time she says, I threw away the chair. Wow, big change. Okay, good, good. So I talk to them a little that way too. Good. New tool. I love metaphor. I love metaphor. Now, what shall I? So I'm going to leave is on the board because it's a good word. I like that that is a verb that most of us expect something to come after. But in this case, that's what comes after, which is everything and nothing, right? It's an open space. So Robert Pang is somebody who I've studied with a little bit. He's online. He's really wonderful. Qigong. He found the traditional Chinese approach to Qigong and healing. He found his master when he was a young teenager. He spent, I've heard, several months in a cave. I've also heard a year in a cave doing meditation and exercises. His master would come and see him like once a day or maybe once a week or something. So it's like mystery schools. There's often a moment when you're terrified out of your skin. In this case, apparently he did die and the master brought him back. So you really go to the gates of hell and come back again, which changes your whole perspective of what's fearful in the world. So he's wonderful. He's extraordinary. This is just a little thing that he teaches. But these guys, they do something to catch your attention that's just like shocking. And he comes to the class and he has the Chinese chopsticks, the plastic ones, right? We've all seen these things. He taps it on the table. He says, Chinese, chopstick. He puts it up to his throat like this and holds it there. Then he goes into that state, like looking into the field. Then he goes, wham! And I'm thinking, I'm going to see this thing come out the back of his neck. I am terrified. And it shatters. It splinters. And nothing is damaged. Because he's put on what he calls the iron shirt. So he has set up a vibrational field that is complete protection. So of course, he has your attention. I thought I was going to see something really disgusting, but no, really amazing. So he's wonderful. You look for him. Of course, I studied with Of course, I studied with Ohashi. And then I found Pauline Sasaki. And studied with her like 10, 11 years. And then I also studied with, and he's wonderful too. He's out of New York these days.
Yeah.
Jeffrey Ewan. Also raised in China in the traditional ways. He's a Taoist priest in like 3 different schools. Yeah, he's really great. He teaches essential oils. He practices essential oils because he's in a tradition that is as old as Taoism. Why would he go to some place like the Swedish Institute to get his license in New York State? So he never did. So he was essential oils. But he's another wonderful teacher. I'll think of some others as we go. Well, I'll stop here for the moment. But I've talked about what Pauline talked about a lot. So the exercises that we're going to do are kind of the shiny pebbles of my learning perception as a Shiatsu practitioner. I'll qualify that, realizing and how to understand the perception that I had, because we do all have this perception, but sometimes it's hard to get a hold of it, what we're feeling. But you grow it. With time, you grow it. So let's partner up. What I want to do is an exercise in beginning to feel the energy over somebody. Sound good? Yeah, let's partner up. And I'll talk it rather than demonstrate it. Or once you partner up, is the table still up? It's not. Oh, here it is. Could somebody help me carry the table to the center? Maybe just right here. Actually, maybe on the corner right here. This is good. Can you all see me over here? Because that way we won't carry it back and forth. Is this good?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know why you said kind of. That's basically is cosmology.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
One thing.
Well, because it's short. It's shortened and it's
Basic.
simplified.
Cosmology 101, but it's.
Well,
it's-
according to me. Yeah.
Well, it's Taoist cosmology. It's
Yeah.
used the same.
Yeah.
And the Bible.
Yeah.
In the beginning,
Yeah.
the Bible says God created the heaven and the earth.
Yeah.
To me, it's.
And it's psychology too. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So. Yeah. Doesn't matter either way. Either way. Well, how about face up? Let's start face up. So I know one person doesn't know the meridians, but everybody else does, right? Yeah. For the people who don't know the meridians, think of the body in geometrics. So here is a leg. Think of this as a long rectangle. And there's this top surface. Well, this one twists a little bit. There's this inside surface. So just think of it in terms of a surface. And don't worry about, and see what you find. See what you find along the way. Of course, I'm going to say every time you've got somebody on the table in front of you, look at them. What catches your eye? Anything? I know, right? Right? That was the one of the first things. Yeah, exactly.
I see the leg, up the leg.
Yeah.
Up the leg,
Yeah. Yeah.
hesitate.
Yeah. Anything else catches
Here
your?
it's very clear that his left chest is.
Yeah. So you're seeing a twist and different kinds. There's maybe the twist goes with what's happening with the legs. Anything else? Yeah. And when I was at Swedish Institute, they would talk about looking at the wrinkles. Which way do the wrinkles go? Because that'll talk about twists and energy. So he's got a little something going on around the knees, for example. So different things that catch. So here's a game. Look at his back. A little twist. So sometimes it's like, well, he's lying on his back. I can't see his back. But of course, this is one shape, right? This is like a jacket with a lining. They don't move separately. This is a yin and yang. So if he has tension in his back somewhere, you're going to see it on the front. Right? Just a little game to play when you're seeing people. So at any rate, always take a look and see what catches your eye. It'll be different things. We said a lot of physical things, but often in our minds, we're thinking, oh, the legs. So then maybe you start thinking anatomy, what's going on with his hip. His knees go with those legs, so it's something up in the hip. And the meridians, maybe the meridians on this side are tighter, so they're pulling that leg out to the side. And maybe this isn't, so, you go through this little talk with yourself about things. Right?
The thing I noticed is that he's breathing.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can see it through the belly.
Yep. But more down here than up there. Yeah. And there's also this possibility for breath. And then there's, I have one client when he breathes. So a whole other story, right? The act of breathing makes something contract. So he has to do this to help with the breath somehow. And if I do it, I can't imagine what that is. It might mean that he's opening up this area a little more. So I want you to stand beside your client when you're doing it. Go back into that standing posture, play with that standing posture for a little while. Come back into yourself. And then think about the space around you and the space, and you're going into that divergent vision. So you can see now I'm not focusing on anything. And you might see me on the subway and just think I'm thinking to myself. And I'm opening myself up to his field. So I'm feeling his field. Maybe you can feel that. I don't know. Yeah, something happens, right? Then wave your hand slowly, maybe start with an arm. And don't think about that you're looking for something. Because if you look for your eyes, that's an eye vision. If you stay in this expanded state, it's going to open it up a little bit. And just play. So I brush one time, brush down. Then one time, draw with your hand what you're feeling. There's something here. Oh, and there's a hand story too. I don't know what it is. But so draw in the air, but don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. You're seeing me doing all these things, so don't worry about it. And then maybe try the chest. Maybe go slower. Try a little faster. So I want you to just play with. There's this line that's now I'm feeling something along the side here, which is spleen. So now I'm thinking spleen. I'm not thinking, ribs or whatever. Spleen comes to mind. See what comes to your mind. So this is for people who are practicing a lot, this is like your normal day, right? But for people who haven't practiced a lot, it might be a lot of different things I'm asking you to do, but I'm giving possibilities of what might happen. So for me, spleen popped up when I said this. So in a way, you're letting your mind kind of wander around too. Good. So I'm going to look at the other side while I'm here because, and again, but now it's more this shape. There's something that goes this way. And it actually kind of comes out this way. Yeah, good.
His whole
This catches your attention? Yeah. 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 And for me, this is about the attachments up in here, and then it goes into meridian things that go up into the body. Something here too. Yeah. Just see what happens. Do you have a feeling for how language has just left me? Do you have a feeling for what the mind is thinking and knowing and what the hand knows on its own? Do you have a feeling for this? Has this ever happened that you think you see this person, you do your Pauline's on the body was about like this. And then Diego showed you over time, we did this. I tend to do this now. I kind of see whatever, because it's, it's physical, it's meridian, it's emotional, all these things. I'm just seeing what comes up. So it develops. Part of my, the world according to Kathy is that I'm a free range chicken. Oh, so I wanted to say too, so this is a structure. I hope you don't mind my putting in all these other things. This is a structure, this theoretical base, this approach to the body, this Hara assessment is a structure. It's a way that we connect about what's going on in this body. So now we have this language that we can talk about circulation and the emotions that go with the heart. We have this language and this structure to talk about all this stuff, right? It's just a structure. You look at another culture, it might be really, really similar, like the chakra system, which when I first studied was thought of as something separate, and it isn't necessarily. It's the same information, the same idea that here's this person who wants some help, and how do we talk about what's going on in this person? So there's a structure. Now we start out with heart, pericardium, spleen. We start out with this touching. And what's all this vibrational? What you're doing is feeling these vibrational qualities. And it's on the body, and it's a structure. Then Pauline is saying, let's do this. This is another structure, right? Often, I don't do that anymore because I walk in and I can see, oh yeah, it's this and this. And then I figure, oh, sound asleep. Good session, right? So
surrendering and trying to see.
yeah, which is fabulous. No defenses. He's like, okay, it's okay. I can lie down here. I don't have to worry about what's going to happen. Because a lot of people are like, yeah. So when you do that, what did you, that stuff. So why wave our hand? This is a way for my brain to connect, to say to my brain and my perception, now I am doing this. Instead of my eye or my fingertips, this is what I'm doing. So this is a way for me making a connection. Whereas I could just stand here and do this and see what I need to know. And that's another structure. They're all great. There's no hierarchy. The biggest thing is how you access this and how this person is comfortable with you accessing this. So there are clients that I come in, they come in and I think, yeah, I'll do this a little bit, but I also want them to feel me doing this too. So it's another tool of connection, right? Now, here I am talking to you, and without thinking about it, my palm has started working. I've gone into treatment mode, right? This is what I mean about the hands know something to do. You've had this experience, right? Everybody's had this experience? Yeah. Yeah. So you can flip back and forth. Is the mind the one, blah, blah, blah. Now it's the spleen, and the spleen meets this. And do you eat sugar? Yeah, that kind of thinking. Yeah, that kind of thinking. You probably do a little bit, but yeah. So, but the hand knows, you could have somebody come in, you could take a look at them, and then you could this is a great place to start. It's in the middle. If they go, oh, startle response. Oh, startle response. Yeah, there's some information. And you can do a whole session without thinking about anything, right? Because your hands are going to know. Good. So first exercise, just kind of float your hand around. So here you are, you're using your hand as like a little search. It's like a big eye. The perceptions get scrambled, right? Your hand sees. We talk this way too. The hand sees. And see what you feel. So step one, go into standing posture. Align yourself up, however you like to align yourself up. Brush your hand over. See what catches your attention. Oh. Draw play with it a little bit. See if it responds to something. And then drop it and go on to the next thing. Is that enough to start with? Okay.
You're gonna be standing. Be on the floor.
Start in standing posture and then go on to the floor. Yeah. And then otherwise, don't worry about body mechanics, just so you can focus on this being in front of you and what catches your attention. Yeah. And if you suddenly start thinking, oh my God, I don't feel anything. I don't feel anything. Yeah, shake your hands out. And what you have for breakfast today, and think about something silly, and oh, now his armpit's catching my attention. This. Yeah. Good. So pair up. Oh, you had a question. I'm sorry.
Did you ever apply the word scan?
It's what Pauline called it. So yeah, why not? I mean, there's another choice.
Okay.
You could call it anything you want. Yeah. Let's call it scan. Good? Did I put you to sleep?
A little bit, yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's also like trying to assess the information that you're explaining that,
I
but
know.
then I'm the model and
I
I'm
know.
like, wait, what's wrong with my head? Wait, something is in that arm. What is it? So
I know.
all that.
Doesn't mean anything.
I know,
That's
I
a
know,
language thing, right?
Right.
It's expression. Yeah. I'll say something about that again. Okay. So if anybody wants me to come and talk to them during this, please call.
Like the person who's standing, just send
Oh, okay.
do something to like get it.
Okay. Okay. Givers, would you like me to talk you through standing posture again? There was a request. Would that be good? Would that be helpful?
Yeah.
Okay. So givers, stand wherever you want to be in relation to your receiver. Stand with your feet pretty much parallel, about a foot distance apart. Play with your knees again, bending them, micro bend, and straightening them until you find that nice spot where the sacrum relaxes and the tailbone. Let's give ourselves a tail, a beautiful, beautiful tail. that's now just relaxed down. Yeah. Yeah. A really lovely tail. You now all have a tail, okay? And let that relax down, your sacrum open up and relax down to the ground. And your lumbar opens up a little bit, the back of your ribs, the sides of your ribs. Let yourself shift around because maybe you're finding a more comfortable place to be, which is freeing up your joints so more energy can flow through them. With that, you will have increased perception. Take a big breath. Lengthen your neck, maybe drop your chin just a little bit to open up that spot between vertebrae number 1 and your skull. Maybe do just a little bit of a bounce if you want, because here's gravity talking to everything. And when you're ready, go for it. Probably should, right? Oh, I finish at noon though, right? Which is in an hour and a half, roughly. I might power through without a break, just so I can like grab everything. Is there somebody extra you want to work with? No? How could that be all right? Oh, God. Yeah. So what catches your attention? And remember, the hand knows these things. So sometimes it might say, go slow. And sometimes it might say, faster. Don't worry about it. So scan. Yeah, yeah. If your brain talks, let it be about describing to yourself, if you can, what this energy feels like. Anybody who wants? Oh, okay. If your brain wants to talk, let it be about describing what you're feeling, if you can. And if you can't, maybe it's just, oh, hello, you've caught my attention. I don't know why. And see what happens. questions. I caught your attention the most. The more on that side. Yeah.
Here, almost like lung. And what's coming to my mind is lung, large intestine.
Yeah.
Large intestine, lung, and the lung. Here, that's just what came to
Yeah.
mind.
Okay. Okay. You've given me an idea. So pick a place that you were pulled to the most. Make yourself comfortable. So hover over this place where you are pulled in the most. Now you're going to ask this place, what does yes feel like for you? So give me a yes response. Don't keep asking. Now ask it, what is a no response? This is for this person. Somebody else is going to have a different response maybe. You feel the difference? Is everybody getting this? So do it once more. What is a yes? Thank you. What is a no? Thank you. Good? Anybody have difficulty with it? I have to say, you're all doing really well. Are you good? I'll come over in just a sec. So now hover over that place that got your attention and ask it, is this a physical issue? Yes? No? Either you got an answer or no answer. Next, ask, is this an emotional issue? Might be confusing. Yeah? How's everybody doing? Then is there anything else that you want to ask? You can ask this spot anything that comes to your mind that you think this person might want to talk about. They've wanted you to pay attention to this place. They expressed something that brought your hand to this place. So maybe they'll continue to express something to help you understand that place. You good? So maybe sneak so you can tip it in. Is it? Oh, okay. Say again. Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. Because he's expressing this. You're responding to his expression. So he's saying, I'm having this thing going on, as opposed to I'm having this. Yeah. Yeah. It could be, a whole section of the body. He's talking to you. Yeah. Or not. And that's information too. So let's switch. Good. I have to say, you all look great. So if you thought you couldn't feel energy before, let me tell you now, you're feeling it. Good. So givers, stand up and before you switch and lay down, shake around a little bit. And in your mind, think about your experience that you just had, what you thought of it, how you felt about it, and then switch. And I can talk you through a standing posture again if you want. Is that good?
Really?
So feet parallel, about a foot distance apart. Bend and straighten your knees until your sacrum opens up and your tail, that beautiful tail that I just gave all of you, drops to the ground. And your lumbar opens up. And your ribs open up to the back and to the sides. Your shoulders drop. Your neck lengthens. Maybe your body waves around a little bit to readjust itself in space. Find that more comfortable spot. Take a big breath. Feel your electromagnetic torus field, your etheric field, some people call it. And when you're ready, go for it. So anytime you think you're getting too serious, that your vibration is getting too dense, think about something silly. Think about what that tail looks like that you have. Keep your joints just a little bit bent. You're going to feel more, yeah. Because you don't want to, yeah. And if you move around, it might help you see how it feels to move around. Yeah. Yeah. So maybe, yeah, wave around a little. And I just get messages and then I'll do physical. See how it goes for you otherwise. Yeah, is that good? How's it going? Yeah, it's mixed. Is it different? This is sort of what I yeah, yeah. Have you all found a spot that attracts your attention more than anything else? Yeah. So hover over that spot. And we'll do the yes and no. So say to that spot, first off, hello. I recognize that you've asked me to pay attention to you. Ask it to show you what yes feels like. What does your yes feel like? Often I find it's kind of a rising sensation. It opens up a little bit. Maybe it's a little brighter, might be colorful. I'm talking about different kinds of expression of energy. Then ask it to say thank you, and then ask it to show you a no. What does a no feel like? Often it's like a sinking away. Sometimes it gets tighter. Sometimes it changes color. So what is the no that this person is expressing to you? Often when you find something, if you keep asking the same question, it's going to say, I told you. Then you have to say, okay, I'll go away. I'll try coming back. So don't keep asking too much, but trust what you got. Was it clear? Did you all get something clear? Good? Everybody's good? Go back to that spot that called your attention and start asking it questions. Hi, you called my attention in today. I'm not sure why. Could this be a meridian thing? Could this be a physical thing? Could this be an old injury? Ask it questions. And see what happens. How are we doing? Good. Again, you guys look great. There hasn't been anybody that I looked at and thought, oh my God, you're lost. So come back up out of the depths. Givers, you can get up and shake around if you want. Receivers, you can get up and shake around if you want. We can have a dancing moment. Let's have a dancing moment. Yeah. Shake your legs around, shake your arms around. Yeah. Absolutely.
I have like lots of energy in my body, like especially when I lay down intentionally, I start convulsing.
What do you mean by convulsing? Like
twitching?
spasms? Twitching. Oh,
Like I
okay.
feel the energy like shooting.
Yeah.
This happens when she's working on me, but I like have some level of control, so I was keeping it like small.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you know anything about that, or have you had that experience with clients?
Well, to me, it's like the energy hasn't found its free path yet. Yeah, that there's this charge going on that's released and opened up. Meditation might help.
Yeah.
Exercise might help, like a vigorous
I
exercise.
do that
Yeah.
often.
Like swim or something.
Okay.
This stuff might help.
I think what you're saying is a good point. Like
Yeah.
energies and release. Is
Yeah.
that what you think?
Yeah. Yeah.
Have you had clients ever do that on the table or whatever? Like,
Oh yeah. 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 Sometimes, I mean, there are all sorts of reasons of why that might be. It might be something new because you're starting this new practice, and suddenly the body's saying, "Oh wow, I had this different battery than I had before." So where has the wiring been set up for it yet? And it will be.
yeah.
But exercise will help to, something vigorous will help to give it pathways. That's my first thought. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Good. Take a minute to feel the room. Feels different, right? The chatter in the room was like this lovely, open chatter. It was great. You felt that? Yeah. So, what did you think?
Amazing.
You had a good time? Your hands are smart, right? Much smarter than you thought, right? So if your brain goes into, oh my God, I don't know what I'm doing. Why am I here? What's Shiatsu? Why did I choose? Just let the hands take over. You'll be okay. It's amazing what the client will be okay with. There was one time well, it's funny though, right? I was drinking coffee and it was slowly becoming too much for me. So in the morning, I would go out the door like practically shaking up and down like this, and my heart was banging away in my chest, and it was just really uncomfortable. And I get to the client, and I am hammering on her because I can't control it at all because I'm so charged, and I'm thinking, oh my God, she's never going to come back to me. I have no idea what she thinks because I can't control this. I am just like wired to the point that I feel ill. And she gets up and says, oh my God, that was so great. So yeah, maybe it was that my hands were saying this is what she needs, but to me it was like, oh God, this coffee. Anyhow.
I don't know if it's a comment or a question, but it made me think about, because we're practicing a lot of us asking the questions to get the information.
Yes.
But I just was thinking about the way different clients come to you, because there's certain clients that will come and say, so this happened to me last night, and when I was a child, this, and this is an old injury, this still bothers me, this is it. And then other people just come and say, hi. And say nothing. And also at the end of the session, there's one, so what did you see, and what did you get, and what did you tell me, what can I do, and the other get up and say, thank you so much, and leave. And it just made me also think about getting information from that about.
Well, and all that is really rich information. I had one client who would come in and he was very, very right angled and straight. His legs were straight. His movement was straight. His head stayed on his body like this, just like he would put his shoes underneath the bench like that, placing in the inside of the shoe, take off his everything was like, and I'd say, how things? How are you? Good. That was it. So that your shoulder was it? Well, yeah, it's still there. Okay. On the table. Feet. So of course I have to get him to relax a little bit. So yeah. Then one day he comes in and he starts telling me about his mother-in-law. It was like, oh, slow down. Yeah, you never know. But there's his expression. And of course, you know, if it was a class that I was teaching that was newer to everything, I would say, so what meridian is that? And what does that make you think of? And so on and so forth. Yeah. Yeah. But you know, this is the perception, right? So there are all these things that go on when we meet somebody new. And what are you looking at? Is there eye contact? You know, do they take care of themselves? Though, you know, the typical things, the associations. What colors do they wear? You know, what's their hair like? Blah, 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 blah. And then there's what's the gut saying? This guy was like a good straight ahead guy. Everything was like straight ahead, but like a nice guy, you know, big heart and everything. So that's what I felt about him otherwise. And that was my feeling. So sometimes they come in and say the shoulder, the hip, and you say, yeah, yeah, yeah. But what is really going on? Because you're not talking about that. You have these gut feelings. And often you have to kind of put it on the table and think, you know, maybe I'll get to that. Maybe I'll figure out what that was. There's a little mystery there. I don't know what it is, but I feel like that's not the whole story, or you're not telling me the truth. That's the other possibility. You're not telling me the truth.
And not because they're liars, but because they may not know what the truth is.
Or they can't deal with what that thing is that I'm kind of saying, what is that thing underneath? They can't deal with it. Yeah, no, and that's information too. And it's important for them. Absolutely. Yeah, good point. So perception, the hands see, right? So when we say see, what do we mean? The eye might actually see something. Like people come in and I often see this cloud over them, that maybe this is grandma, or maybe this is a friend who's torturing them. You know, some relationship they have to sever or something. So in that case, there is something that I see, and it's maybe more in my mind's eye, but it's located outside of me and up in space. And then sometimes see is more what I call my mind's eye, brain TV. You know, I get this picture. So you're going to discover all sorts of things about how you pick up vibrational information. I used to have a couple of voices that would say things to me, but they were like way, way deep down behind me. I don't know where. It felt like it was in my guts, but literally like, you know, 50 feet, I don't know, 12 feet or something behind me. There was some, oh no, there's some other story. There's, you know, some little thing. The gut talks a lot. The hand talks a lot. Yeah. And there are auditory things that I have sometimes. And I also have this sense, this is just, I'm telling you what my things are, because you'll find maybe you have similar things or you'll have your own things, but that there's a wide variety. I have a sense of where somebody carries their center. Where's their, if it's up in their chest, of course, they're a little too top heavy. If it's too far down, then they can't get off the ground. You know, they're too dense. You know this feeling, right? You know these people that it feels like, you know, they're just more like a snail, like maybe they're leaving a trail behind them. They're really on the ground. So perception is really, really fascinating. It's really, really fascinating. So let's talk a little bit more about that experience you had with this exercise. Anything else that you want to talk to the group about, or yes?
Oh, it was just feedback.
Oh, okay. But Yvonne, you had your hand up.
Yeah, and it might be just my problem that I have to figure out, but I do shiatsu and massage, and one is regulated in my country and one is not. And my initial feeling when I was going into massage was that massage is what's going to get someone into the bedroom. Shiatsu is going to tell you what to do when you get there. But I feel like I am not honoring either. I'm just mixing them,
Yeah.
bringing them together.
Yeah.
So we're a bunch of things in the room at the same time. And I have to trust that my Shiatsu brought me here.
Yeah.
And it will keep my foundation going forward.
Yeah.
So when I put my hands on something, I can't read what the body is saying and bring that into my massage. It's just information in my head. And I just use it.
Yeah.
So I am using Shiatsu. So my intuition isn't as strong as, say, somebody who is purely a Shiatsu therapist.
Yeah.
I am working with the bones and the muscles and the fascia.
Yeah. Is this a clatter? Is it a little conflict, or how do you feel about that? Yeah.
I don't know that I need to feel anything.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Yeah. But you want to do both.
I do.
Yeah. I would guess that over time, that intuition is going to be in there more and more and more, regardless. That's my first thought. That's just the nature of it. And if you're intuitive, it's going to be there talking to you.
I think, and I do think it is. People will say to me, how did you know to go there? How did you know to do that? How did you know that's what I was experiencing live, whatever?
Yeah. And
I don't take any of it for granted, but I don't feel like an expert in any of it either.
Yeah. 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 Well, if you want them both there, run for it. Run for it. Why not? And it'll grow. It'll grow. Try the yes/no exercise while you're doing the Swedish and see what happens. Because it sounds like you're doing it a level of it anyway, and they're saying to you, how did you know? So the hands are talking. Yeah. 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 Give a little time to experiment with it. See what happens. See what happens. Because I bet it's at work more than you think, more than you're giving credit for, or that's my first guess. Is that good?
Limit yourself. In my experience.
So there are a bunch of people who do Swedish also? Yeah. Yeah. You've been chatting Swedish together?
Well, we're in the same Shiatsu.
Oh, okay. The Canada crowd. Yeah, I don't know who's the Canada crowd. Oh, okay. Oh, excellent. Yeah. I think in one way it doesn't matter what you're. So this is another one of Catherine's concepts. That here is the medicine, whatever that means, the medicine, and there are all these doors that you enter through, and it has to do with your character and what's attractive to you. And then you're around the inside of the room like this, and there are all these people around, and it's like, oh, I do this, and it's much better than that, and whatever. But everybody's in this room. And as you spend more time in the room and kind of move deeper into the room, you realize, oh, we're all working on the same thing. We've got different languages and different systems for working on the same thing. And as you get to the center, it's all the same thing. The doctor, there are those doctors who, I read about one who sits down before doing surgery and prays and imagines the surgery because he's setting up an intention the way we do for what's going to happen with the surgery. And maybe it stops in the middle and there's this little issue that he sees in his going over it. And he thinks, well, I'll do this or I'll do that. And he gets to the surgery and it stops at that place. And he has this do around for how to take care of it and moves on, and that it really makes a difference for him to do that. So he's setting himself up the way we do. So in a way, it's like it's all the same thing. It's all the same thing. This is the same body after all, with different expressions of vibration going on. Any other comments people want to make?
I felt two different spots. Initially, one of them was very hot, warm, right around the navel, and then the other was magnetic, more down by the bladder. And so I played around like you said, a little, and then the heat kind of dissipated, but the magnetic area was strong. So then when we got to the questioning, I said, "Is this a meridian issue?" And it was kind of a little bit of a pulsing. And then is it physical? And it was kind of almost like a drawing in. But then when I said, is it emotional, it expanded. And then when I said, is it long term? I had to stop.
Oh, it made you choke up?
Yeah, I was going to start, I knew I was going to start crying, so I pulled away and took off.
Yeah.
But, and then I went back and it was fine. But it was.
Yeah. But that's a big piece of information. Yeah, that's a big piece of information. Huh. Yeah.
Just a quick,
So we should take a little break?
Yeah.
Could we make it really, really short? Because I only have another hour. And I want to open the fire hose back up.
Deal.
Very short, if we can prepare right now, yeah. So can we just take a break?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, keep it. About the field a little bit. So Pauline's use of the word field was the space around, and how big that space around is up to what you want to look at. So if you sit here now and just think about your physical body, put your attention on your physical body and how that feels right now after this weekend, after this class, what we've done so far, and you've had your break, just feel your physical body for the moment. So this is the size of your field that you're choosing to look at right now. So check in with that. Now look at the field that includes your whole energetic egg, you might call it. Pauline called it the etheric space around your body. Scientists would call it your electromagnetic field. Some people call it your aura. Of course, your body is in it. Your bones are the most dense, slow vibration in this structure, unless it's thought. You might have some thoughts that are actually denser than your bones. So now stretch out what you're looking at to include the room. You can feel how everybody's doing that in the room, right? You can feel everybody else stretching their attention, their awareness, their consciousness out to the room. So when you're looking into the field, you're making a choice of what it is that you're paying attention to in that field. But think of the field as being the space around, but also a space of activity. So you've gone into, I used to have potential up here. You've gone into the space of potential, maybe history, if that's what you want to pay attention to in the field, somebody's history. But practically, it's all time, all space, and certainly the history of your DNA family. My Native American teacher would have called that the river of blood, because that's where the DNA moves around the body. Well, it's one of the ways it moves around the body. So there's the field. I have one more exercise that I want to do. And it's a little bit of a jump. It's metaphor. As I say, I love metaphors. And it's something that Gregory Antukin, his name is up here. He's the Russian shamanic medical intuitive that the Pauliners, as I like to call them, studied with. And she studied with us because she was opening up her vision, opening up Shiatsu. And she changed her Shiatsu because her perception was changing. Because she was giving sessions, and then all of a sudden it was like, what is this thing I'm seeing around this person all of a sudden? I'll be working on something and something will shoot out of their hip. What am I looking at? So she started thinking about, oh, maybe this is energy. And she started expanding her practice and understanding of her practice and how to use this idea in her practice because of what she was seeing. And then she moved on to other things from there too. So Gregory was one of the people who we all started going to. And of course, shamanism is very much based in the earth, which is something there would have been one time on earth when the whole world was shamanistic. That would have been the world spiritual program or spiritual system set up. Language, the spiritual language. And we are the earth. We're an expression of heaven and earth together. The world needs this right now, pretty desperately. So this is a modification of a Gregory and Tukin exercise. If I can get this out of here. Okay. Please take one and pass it on. With Gregory, it was a flame, and I thought that Himalayan Institute might not like nearly 40 flames walking around. It's a flame. But what it really is part of a tool of connection that has to do with divergent vision. So this is going to be a distraction in the middle of practicing divergent vision. So partner up. One person get comfortable. Seated is probably best. You should spread out so you have enough room for your partner to walk around you. So one person should be seated and the other person's going to walk around. So once you get settled, I'll go into what the metaphor is. Did everybody get their marble? Feels good, right? It's a marble. Yeah, a marble.
Where's your marbles?
Marbles. Oh, please be mindful of the marble. They're glass. If you drop them on the uncarpeted floor, it will break. And also don't leave it on the floor because somebody might step on it and then they might break. So this is the metaphor. This person has a structure that they express themselves, which is a house. This is a house. And you're going to walk around, I'm going to say clockwise, counterclockwise. You can try both if you want. And you're going to look at the marble, but look at the house. What is this house like? Does it have a front door? Is there a door on the house? Is there a lock on the door? So all the different things about a house that's going to make it a comfortable, functional house. Inside, whatever, this is, again, what catches your attention. Is there adequate protection? Is there adequate air? Is there adequate, what all the different things that you want in your living space to make life comfortable and functional?
So you're walking around the house.
Yeah. So imagine that how he's going to express himself to you is through the metaphors of a house. Yeah. Is there a roof on the house? Are there any windows? So what are all the different things that go into a house? Does this make sense? Yeah. Is it a castle? Is it a one-room apartment in the basement of a 50th floor, whatever? Yeah. That's good? Does it make sense? Yeah. 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 And you look at the marble. Yeah. But your attention is on this person. And then you see what happens. So part of this game is to see what pops into your head. So first we were going with the intelligence of what the hand knows and asking yes and no. And now we're kind of opening up to our whole field and what it knows and picks up. So be loose about it. And if you feel yourself thinking, I'm not feeling anything, what's going on? This is so crazy. What did you have for breakfast? Was it good? What was that stupid thing that that person said the other day? You know, whatever. Change it up a little bit. So the marble is to shut up part of your brain. Because you've got this marble, you're trying, of course, it's a flame. It has this little bit of danger to it that you had to pay attention to, that you didn't burn yourself or the person you were walking around. You can change speed, you can slow down, but it's probably best to keep walking. Why don't you let him walk around you first? Yeah. And here's one for you too. Yeah. And if you find yourself going down some rabbit hole, like what the garden looks like, that's great. Run with it. Don't worry. Anybody who has a question, please feel free to call me over. So you're out for a walk and you came across this house. What is the story of this house? They don't allow. As you mentioned the size. Yeah. So you started with an image before you started walking, and they were both about surfaces. Oh, okay. Well, you were connecting with this idea, right? And now you're confused if you're feeling Susan or your own house. Well, yeah, now I'm confused. If like, is that just like that? But it happened before you started walking around. Yeah, well, I knew I was gonna. Yeah. I take it to mean you were connecting with the idea. House. Which one? When you had that first image, that it was you thinking, oh, house. You've got a strong idea about the metaphor of a house. Yeah. So now it's just, so hold your marble, walk with me. What?
So maybe I own 2 homes.
Oh, ask, does she own 2 homes? She does. I think she does. What do you?
Makes sense to me. Yeah.
Did you get a yes or a no? Mine came too fast. I'm sorry.
Different times.
And my reading is that part of it is about where does she live? She lives in two places, right? Let's walk around. See if my presence will shift your feeling about what. Oh, this is interesting. You know, part of it is, I'm covering the marble, I'm sorry. Part of it is you have a really active mind. Yeah. So the mind is like, oh, house, this house, that house. So it's hard to, how do you say, that's great. But sit over on the side here so I can look at Susan. But it's also information. I mean, a lot of that might be that it's about, so you would have to be doing it to different people to know how much is you talking to yourself and how much is about this person, because a lot of it might be about this person. Does that make sense? Okay. Yeah. Okay. So maybe do that. Just take it. This is information about where I am right now. And maybe start to look for patterns and categorize it a little bit. And I have something else to say about that I'll say to the group. Better? Yeah. Good. How are we doing? Good? Something's happening? So let's switch. I want to leave time to talk about it and to say a couple things. And
Shall we say?
we could talk. Yeah, let's just switch and save the talk for afterwards. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Because we have a half hour.
Yeah.
Good? Is that okay? Yeah, go for it. What's that? Okay. Yeah, good. Good. Thank you. Good. You sit down. Anybody who wants me to talk to them about this, just put your Hand up in the air. You have kids? No kids. Pets? No pets. Best friend. You see your best friend. You take a look at them. You think, I don't know why, but there's something going on. Sometimes, yeah. When you get together. So that's kind of what you're feeling. But in this case, with this picture, well, this, you look at this because often the brain is saying, oh, I see the hair and I see the hand and I see how she's dressed. So if the eye is busy here, you're feeling more with the field around you. Because when you feel yourself, you can feel yourself, no problem, right? You could feel the room when we expanded to the room. Yeah, same thing. Same thing. So if you feel like, oh my God, I'm getting jammed up, stop and feel yourself again. Because it's like it has this kind of perception to it, right? Very delicate, right? Yeah. So stop and think about that again. And then extend it to include her. That changes it a little bit, right? You feel her in there? You just look at this. What's that? You gotta say it louder. Don't look at her, just the marble. Yeah, just the marble. Just look at the marble. Yeah, good. Yay, good. Good. What do you think? Very, very different being the seated person and the moving person, right? Success, confusion, curious. You can keep it if you want. You don't have to. You don't have to give it back. Either way. Ooh. What was your experience? What do you think? Anybody?
Great. Nice. See my house.
Yeah.
Feel the entrance. Where I did, where not.
Yeah. All the talk about a house that you can talk about. Yeah. And you found that you could pull up the image and interact with it maybe a little bit? Yeah.
It was a long time, so after a while, what I kept seeing, I kind of trying to bring that Taurus of energy because so I felt it was a house on stilts. It was a wooden house and there was this big skylight over here. And there was no basement and no, so all this light was trying to get out up over here. And then, so it was a long time going on, so I kept kind of coming around to the earth to see if there was a basement or something about the earth.
You had questions.
Shiatsu mind.
Yeah.
And then on sort of the opposite end, on the diagonal, and suddenly a kitchen. And the garden, there was a little garden and it got bigger. But I never saw a door.
The garden was a secret.
Trying to get light in or send light in.
Yeah. Anybody else have something they want to tell the crowd?
Good night.
Yeah.
At the beginning, I started to see windows. A lot of windows, like glass, opening space. Bright color, but light color. And then suddenly I saw the sea and like and it was back to the house. There's not many people.
Excellent.
Could smell the sea.
Yeah, yeah.
I felt when I was walking, I looked at the ball and just like the reflection of the light just kind of went like that. And it kind of like sent the layout of the house for me. But it was like flat, like one floor house that is really wide and very sunny. And then as we kept walking more and more and more, the details started to come in. So first it was like, here's the kitchen, here's the living room. And we kept walking. So like, oh, the kitchen, there's baskets with lots of fruits. And like, so it started to fill in with the details and the colors and what does the furniture look like.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Anybody else? Yes.
Not so much in terms of what the house looked like, but my experience of the exercise.
Which is another way of saying what it looks like, but yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Reminded me a little of yes. Exercise yesterday when I like revealed that I was trying to make it hard for my partner. He's like, you know, I was like busted in that trauma or whatever. Today I noticed that when I was getting this information, I was questioning, where is this information coming from? Like, is this my own judgments or preconceived notions or my own ideas of, you know, what she would be as a house versus is this like an intuition that I'm getting? So I noticed.
Yeah.
That's a way of being for me, like questioning, like, well, where, like, is this real? Is this true? Is this good? Is this reliable?
Yeah.
And that was a little bit.
So let me talk to this a little bit because somebody else said something like this. This is your first client, you. And you need to know yourself as much as possible. Who is me? So you know who is them. But because you know who you are and you are a particular structure, a particular house, you're going to have a different response and they're going to have a different response to you. So your experience of a house is the same thing as what their house is like, because this is you experiencing their house, but also them showing you what they want you to see because of who you are. So you sit down for somebody else or somebody else sits down for you, it's going to be a different house, right? Yeah. So there's that. So the more you know yourself, the better. So if your client is angry, then you'll know, oh, it's not just suddenly I'm angry right now. It's that I'm feeling this person. If you do suddenly feel yourself angry, you're either fusing with them a little bit, or they triggered something, or the popular word these days, they triggered something in you. So that's information. Angry people make me angry. So every time you get angry, you might think, oh, this is an angry person. So it goes both ways. Yeah. So it's all information, but the more you know yourself over time, which one hopes we do as we get older, the more that this interaction is going to be clearer. So you have a nature to question, and of course we all are questioning in the middle of this. And then if there's a mystery, sometimes you say, okay, here's this mystery, maybe I'll find out later. So you keep that box for yourself and you put the mystery in the box. But we are mysterious creatures. You know, there are these things in us that are like, who knows why? Maybe it's grandpa, maybe it's somebody even older coming down through the DNA, because you've got this chunk of DNA that came through from somebody as one idea. So, so we have to live with a mystery a little bit. Yeah, which is okay. Yeah, which is great. And there was something else I was going to say. Well, to know yourself, to know yourself. So, yeah, I mean, that can be so many different things, right? So many, many different things. I mean, there's one of those life jobs, know yourself, and it changes all the time because we're not a thing, we're this action. So, you know, you become 60, that self has changed too. And how is that? Yeah, so moment to moment, it's a moving target. There was something else I was going to say in the middle of that, and I forgot. Maybe it'll come back.
I have a question.
Yes.
Did anybody else feel the spinning around?
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, I did it, and then I did my site to check, and it was as I was walking.
I love that. I love that.
Wow.
Yeah.
I want her more.
Or you could take a different one. Well, so in a way, it became a focal point for you, that it became a more of a tool than what I was describing. Yeah, yeah. Well, so maybe that's a way to work. Have something in your pocket that every once in a while you'll pull out. That's your beam. I often think of my hand or my attention as a beam to look through something, maybe to look at the structure of the shoulder and what's going on in there, or on whatever level it's going on in there. Yeah, so maybe that might be really useful. That might be a good tool. Tools of connection. That's one of the things that I wanted to talk about. And this idea of structure and how, well, this is back to the universe according to Katherine, but everything is everything. You know, there's no distinction between one thing and another. The more I look at everything, the more everything is everything. So everything is a metaphor for everything. You know, you can pick anything you want and it's a metaphor for everything. So I must be getting tired because I forgot what I was going to say. Oh my God. Yeah. Well, but with structure, is if you have this body lying in front of you, you can look at it skeletal muscularly and in terms of circulation, or you can look at it in terms of the meridians, or just the 8 extraordinary vessels, or you can look at it in terms of the chakras, or all these different things. And the more you work with these things, the more maybe you can go back and forth. You were talking about overlays that you can have in your mind. Okay, I'll put down, I want to look at joints. Okay, I'm done with the joints. I want to look at liver. Okay, I'm done with liver. Okay, I want to look at trauma. Okay, I'm done with trauma. And see how what these different things bring up in this particular person.
You can actually.
If you want.
Yeah.
If you want. Yeah, it's a tool, right? It's a tool. Yeah. And then I find that there's often a storyline develops for my idea of how somebody is put together that has chunks of these different layers and how they interact with how they are right now, what their health feels like to them right now. And that shifts around.
Ask a question I think might help.
Okay, yeah.
So, back to that density thing. So I have Shiatsu touch her spleen,
Yeah.
So, or I get stuck somewhere. And then this was very helpful to keep me from getting stuck, in my,
A distraction.
in my getting density, getting stuck. So can you speak to maybe some strategies about, I don't know if anybody else is getting stuck, getting,
Yeah.
so focused on something and
Yeah.
forgetting about the
Yeah.
field.
Yeah. Well, first off, know yourself. And Shiatsu mind gets stuck. And maybe you could say, oh, look, Shiatsu mind is stuck, but does it get stuck in the same kind of thing? Is there a pattern with how it gets stuck?
No, with time, it's like meditation.
Yeah.
The field.
Yeah.
But it takes practice.
Yeah. So what's the pattern of the stuckness? It could be that that's the mystery. And you're trying to, that maybe this person's expression is like, look at this. Well, I can't really see it. I mean, I have glasses for reading, but that's not going to help. I can't really see this. That maybe they're sort of really not showing it. So you're trying out your different overlays of how do I explain this to myself? But this wants attention and I don't know what it's telling me. So, but it wants attention. So in a session, because it's short, you give it the attention and maybe you think, well, I really don't know what that was. And I really didn't get to some place of satisfaction. So I have to move on.
Rome wasn't built in a day.
So that's my first thought, that maybe it's some mystery that doesn't unravel, that you can't think, oh, yeah, it is joint and it's related to the little. So now I have a sense of, now I feel, yeah, okay, I'm good. I can go. So I'm thinking maybe it's some mystery that's like, oh, what is that thing? Why am I looking here? So I would think that over time, you'll feel a pattern of what you get stuck on, and that maybe that will help you unravel that. But that's my first thought. Good. Does that help anybody else?
When I'm stuck at, I think, my feet.
It used to be like stuck, I would go to.
And it helped?
Yeah, that was.
And now doesn't?
Oh, it does, but this field is sort of a little less dense for me. I thought that is very relying.
Yeah. So the field needs a different grounding tool.
I guess so.
Yeah. There's activity over here. Yeah.
So for me, when I get hyper-focused, go back into myself and remind me.
Yeah.
And then I worry about, especially when I'm in a session, pattern later. And then it
Yeah.
in there.
Yeah.
About
So open it up a little bit. It's a denseness. Yeah. Yeah. Tools. These are tools.
Maybe like, maybe this speaks a little. Saying about this expanded new center is more spot because that's what the tail is.
Yeah. Well, first off, that you know, here are these people who have been practicing so long who get stuck. Note to self, you get stuck no matter how long you've been practicing. And different people are talking different strategies, but there's a denseness that wants to be opened up again, which is basically what you're saying, right? Open up a density so you feel freer again and you can get unstuck. Yeah.
Something I want to add to it.
Yes, please.
We're going into this intuitive, very energetic state. It's what you know how to do.
Yeah.
And that will bring you back. Come back to the meridians.
Yeah.
They'll bring you back.
Yeah.
And then it will take you out of wherever your head is taking you, and you're still connected.
Yeah. And also trust why you're stuck. Maybe this is important information. There's something here that's saying, you know, pay attention to me. Yeah. And if you go off, instead of getting stuck in a, what am I doing here? Hyper-focused, your word was, there I go again. In this intuitive state, I mean, that might be information too, that suddenly this person is showing you, come with me down this hall here, and suddenly you're in this enormous room and there's all this stuff going on. So that's a more expanded getting stuck than I'm on this thing and I can't make it move. And when that happens to me, I feel like something else is going on. It's not about this knee, which I keep working on. Something else is happening here that's trying to come through that that was my reading, you know, that I can't get at. So then, yeah, go into your strategies, have your strategies. So Shiatsu focuses on the hara, and Pauline added the spine, which is about function too, because if you move your spine, this is a real engine of activity. And as I said, an important area, because here's the spot where the universe comes in and shifts into you by becoming the dew and the ren and the chong and the 8 extraordinary vessels come. So here's a real powerhouse of energy, but the spine is bringing everything else with it, and is the nervous system too. And the nervous system goes out into the whole body, and now you're starting to expand out into a larger shape, a larger sensitivity. But I mean, you know, this is life. We get stuck, right?
Yeah, replying to you about why do I think of feet. It's humbling.
Say again?
It is humbling to know that, yeah, you get stuck.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what it is.
We're a fleck of the whole universe. The whole is. We're a fleck of that whole is. Yeah. Yeah, in the soup. Well, it's also another way of looking at that. Well, I left the word is up there, is the subatomic particle structure, which is just a soup of activity. Physics, if you study physics, this is Shiatsu. So science used to look at the atom, which had like if I put an atom in the room, there'd be a ball of cherries here, which was the nucleus. And then up on stage would be an orange that was going around it. And somewhere out by that tree that I can see through the window is another orange that's going around it in another way that maybe attracts another, you know, a grapefruit or something from this thing over here. So it's a lot of space. Nothing is in there as far as we understand. And then the string theorists came along and said that orange isn't an orange that's moving around, it's light, which I love, because here we are, we're light workers. We're light workers. And what form does light take? Everything. Here we are, a bunch of light, which is kind of wonderful. So, and in the middle of that is this little confluence of activity that calls itself Katherine. That's kind of organized for a little while. And in a while, that'll be gone. Yeah. And it'll be something else. And then, of course, there's the concept of where my soul goes and where my biological matter goes and all this kind of stuff. But when you think of all that, yeah, it's humbling. But we're all one. Everything is everything. So that's what goes on in my mind all the time. Anybody else who wants to say something about the house?
When I was sitting, I found myself focusing on the wall, and Manuela was walking around, but I could see her reflection kind of coming back.
How did that feel?
And it was really beautiful. It was very like kind of felt like wrapped in this like nice.
You were the earth and you had a moon.
Yeah.
Or yeah, I like that. Anybody else? How did you feel being the earth in the middle of that solar system? Nothing in particular. Actually, it's interesting because to feel the room when you're thinking, dial into what the room feels like. Of course, you're not thinking anymore, so it's not there. Everybody went into the field. So I'll see if I can demonstrate that, and maybe you can feel it through me. So we were talking, and the whole room did that. Everybody just.
Felt safe. To be in the middle. Yeah. Felt like a safe place.
Yeah.
Protected by this wonderful field around me.
Good.
Around.
Good.
And everything you're saying just reminds me, going back to the first night, my doggy picture, you know, with the straight spine and the tail coming down, and there where the goes out to the field.
I love the concept of a tail, because if you move it around, even in your mind, you're changing the shape of the pelvic structure. And think about how much goes on and how stiff people get, especially when they get old, or if they have, well, all sorts of things. So, you know, you have people do hip circles, and you watch them and how much fluidity is in this. To add the tail opens it up. So if you get your client to do the pelvic clock, it's called, and then add the tail to it, it really opens it up. And if they're having issues, they can lie in bed and circle their tail. If you think about it, it's easier if you're in doing cat-cow. But if you think about it, think about a four-legged animal, and when the tail is down, so be on in your mind, be on your all fours and put your tail down. And what that does to your feeling. And then lift that tail up. And I always think, you know, God, how unhuman. There is ass and genitals to the world, right? And otherwise, we kind of keep our tail tucked down. Some people, it's like, you know, everything is out there. But by and large, there's this idea of, you know, you stand up straight, you know, you don't have your butt sticking out all over the place. So it really opens up the pelvic structure to play with the tail. What's that? That's up to you. Well, I have some clients who should probably go twerk regularly. Yeah. What else? Comments, thoughts? Oh. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So she clicked in and got your image. Excellent, excellent. That's another thing, you know, you're going to have all sorts of images that come into mind. Like suddenly you'll be working on something and so you're in a forest. You're thinking about a forest, and this is information. So just take everything as information. And everything is everything. Let's get in a circle again. A really round circle. What's that? No, seated. Yes. Yes. Come close, come close, come close.
Are we losing our marbles?
Well, whatever. Are you losing them? Are you losing them? If you would like to give your marble, if you would like to,
We can keep.
that's where I got that. You are perfectly welcome to keep your marble.
Come home for my vase. But everybody's marble.
Yeah, yeah. What? Thank you.
Yeah.
Actually, this is what I'm about to talk about next.
What's it?
Okay. So circle up so we're even, and come join us. Come join us. Can we squish in so we're a little bit more circular? Yeah, everybody come join. Everybody come join.
Family.
So, you know, I was going to do, Kamiko said, teach a class, and could we shape that a little more so these people can speak in a little more?
Well, the camera is making it.
Ah.
But then.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So Kamiko said, you know, teach a class, what is it going to be on? And I thought, God, what's it going to be on? And then I thought being with your client, which is like so basic. That's like it's about as basic as you can get, right? But then I thought, God, it's really complicated too, because you've got to get out of your own way. If you're somebody with you in your own way, you've got to get out of your own way. So you've got to start learning yourself and learning yourself and learning yourself. And then I put together the class. Like one day it was like that. And then in a little while, I put together the class again. And then I did all these charts about what I was going to do in the class. And God, maybe that's like a whole other class. And then I did this other class. And then there were a couple of nights that I stayed up and I gave the presentation until 6 a.m. as I lay in bed trying to sleep. And that went on and on and on. And then there was the election. And I thought, oh, this is a new world. This is a new world. It's not the same thing anymore. So, on that note, yeah, so Stevie Converse was one of my teachers at Ohashi. She was wonderful, and she had studied with some Native Americans. And she said, she did this in class one day. She said, we are a basket. So in your mind, draw a string from you to every person in the circle. So throw a cord out and connect to every person in the circle. And these cords are getting woven together. So we have this very rich, alive basket. And it is a metaphor, my favorite thing, for this structure that we make between us that's for support, that's always here. And it attaches to the people out in Zoom land, so throw your cords into the basket too. So as we go forward, we need this more and more. Ohashi always used to talk about how we need more technology because there's so much technology. And now Gregory would have talked about we're in a struggle between light and dark. I would rather not put it between light and dark, but there's definitely a struggle between my point of view and their point of view. But we're still an organism. We're still an organism. And they say that they, the people up north, who are the repository of wisdom, that if you think there are opposites in the world, black, white, and I mean that metaphorically, a yin yang, it's because you haven't backed up far enough to see where they connect for where we're going. And I don't know what that is because I'm still a little stuck in my viewpoint and their viewpoint. So there's something to meditate on. But we're in a change. So we need this shiatsu and this viewpoint even more. So Kamiko is doing something that is right for the time, really right for the time. So I want to weave this basket between us all, which extends to the people who were here last time and the people who will be here other times, and this mindset, this light worker mindset, which is really important. It's really important. So, aho. Thank you. Thank you. You are wonderful. I wanted to give you some of the different tools that I use and help you feel about how you can extend what's possible in your practice. I hope that this is useful. And remember, you have that box that you put on the side for anything that didn't make sense that maybe will later. Thank you, Kamiko.
We have a gift to the teachers. We have a certificate for all of you. So we're gonna spread out. Please find your own certificate by moving around. Giving a hug to each other, please. Yes. Just
Or you can pass them around the circle until yours comes.
Did you grade us? Are we graded also?
No, don't go. Just start passing them. Just start passing them. Just start passing one at a time. Just one at a time.
But they're not.
No, the person. You don't keep them.
can just put it and the people can entire
Yolanda, please. Thank you, Katherine.
You're welcome. Shadeep is over there.
Now everybody's gonna get up. It's not, your idea was good.
Yeah. Oh my God, more merch. More merch.
Get that.
Thanks.
Think of it for a friend. Look at your little pad for your computer. Mouse.
I don't have a mouse.
Nobody does.
Yeah. I don't know what I'll do with that.
Oh, that's
We got one in the other. Oh.
I'm gonna put it that.
Lilia. I'm disabled.
Oh crap.
I don't wear a cap. Do you want one? I don't wear them. You want one? Advertise to the world. Don't let Kamiko see.
My cap is very Japanese though.
Is it?
Right.
Who's Lilia?
My
Yeah.
gosh, not my name.
Oh, crap. Oh, you have to correct it. Yeah. Where did mine go? Mine.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I hope it helps. I hope it helps. Good,
You
good.
have to do like next year and next year and next year.
I would say the same thing again and again.
Yes, again and again and again.
Excuse me, it is now time for the raffle. Yes.
Oh, the raffle. Where is?
We have an announcement. Excuse me.
Do I get a
Everyone?
certificate too?
No, but the teachers find it.
As a teacher though, I get continuing ed
Okay,
credits
I
for
will
it.
do that.
What's it? Oh, yeah.
Ticket? I want a ticket. Oh, that's different.
All done. I think so. Hold on.
Okay, everyone.
Well, you should have this for the final words when we say our closing.
I hope they do.
I know.
Okay, beautiful. Hey, sorry.
Not now, but
What?
we have to do the closing.
Oh.
Yeah. 母ちゃん、そうやって。これみんながあげたやつ、先生にあげて。ファイブライツのやつ。Catherine, can you see him? Can you see him? We have to do closing. Get the chair. Oh, Mihail, can you sit next to? For the next year, we have to tell people. De かいちゃん写真お願い。かいちゃん写真お願いします。みんな。あっち。So dear, everybody got it? All right, please come back to the circle one more time. What? So
we have a bunch of different things, something from our sponsors, Plan 14, 5 items from Shiatsu Summit, and a t-shirt. So I'm going to go around. I'm going to hire the rest today. And read the number. Everyone has their ticket ready?
Oh, yeah.
93051.
Yeah.
We will have the next selection. Kumiko, do you mind
Right.
selecting?
No. This one.
You read.
Oh, okay. 930049. Oh, That's okay.
Vai, Serena.
930043.
Wow, ticket. 93005. 59059. Going once.
From the first day I'm lost. On the first day, I can run to the room and check.
Okay. Okay.
I don't remember if I kept my ticket.
It's okay, you have your own bag. Yeah.
Five.
Yay! Yeah.
I don't.
Oh, okay, yeah, let me go to that. Yeah, I will send it to you.
Yeah.
306.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Let's keep my license, but right now.
No, it's fine. Yeah. Yay!
930069.
Yeah.
Oh!
Something for everybody.
I still have a ticket that I picked like 10 years ago.
Yeah, it's okay.
930041.
need to get leaner.
Your mom.
Okay. Oh,
Okay.
what did you want? You
Five, three. Okay. 930052. Oh. And 0058.
All right, thank you everybody for coming. Yes. Yes, we will clean up, but I need to make some announcements. Yes, don't forget, we are getting together next year. April 17th to 19th. Our guest is already here. Please come back again. Yes. Here's 1 year to prepare. Expectations are so high here. Please. All right, and then our next year's registration will be open up soon, so don't forget, sign up. Thank you, Karen, for your suggestions. Yeah, sign up. Yes. All right, okay, so let's stand up and loosen up our bodies, and please, everybody sing. Please. All right. And then thank you to everybody. And then let's enjoy. Come back. Let's dance. Morning. Yay. Thank you so much. Okay. Thank you. Thank you to Katherine. Thank you to Diego. Thank you to Tiger. Thank you to Mihail. Thank you to everybody. And Keith, thank you so much. Thank you. Yes, we did. Let's give a hug to each other. Thank you, Katherine. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for signing
I
up.
want to teach my dance workshop in the summit.
Okay.
I talk to you.
Yeah,
I
let's
tell you
talk. Okay.
what I teach.
Great, let's get some. Yeah, please do a little bit of the demonstration here. Thank you. Thank you. I hope you enjoy. Contact the table. You can write your name. You can put a sign up sheet on the table on your way out.
Oh, Kyle says hello, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Paula couldn't make it because her husband is here. And then something happened to Hazel. I don't know. What? Well, she said something, but I have to go visit her pretty soon. Right? I told her to join even Zoom, but I think she did. She couldn't join. I think.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
getting some feet.
Yeah, right? Okay. When you see her, please give her.
Yeah.
Please, yeah.
Remember the bag that she gave you?
Yeah. Thank you. Okay. Oh, thank you so much. Oh, I have a certificate for the people. Yeah. I emailed to them, but just when she sees,
Oh, okay.
yeah, when she sees them,
Oh, beautiful.
yeah.
All right.
T-shirts? Yeah. Well,
Conflares, 400.
yeah, it's still there.
So that's where they can order this.
Yeah. Okay, this is okay. Here. One sketcher. Thank you, Peter.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right.
Well,
I think so people are happy.
people, yeah, good.
Yeah.
This is the second year. You don't have to do anything.
Oh, you should go. Did you leave my?
Yeah.
No, nothing.
Oh, thank you. Okay, I guess I should shut this down. Thanks. Yeah, make sure everyone's good. Thank you.
It's